Alright, hey guys. So a lot of people were asking for a tour of all of my fish tanks. So here you go. Figured we'd start small and go big. This is the one that's on my desk. It's a 6.5 gallon. Got the beta, um, all my Hillstream loaches, and picked up two little baby bachirs the other day. What else? Got some little baby coolie loaches down in there, and really big mystery snail, and a bunch of African dwarf frogs, which keep trying to breed and failing. It's covered in algae, and I really don't care because it feeds the loaches and all the snails. Because I got Malaysian trumpet snails, so they do whatever they want and eat all they want, and I don't have to change anything because this is a Wallstad method tank. So really, I just add water and all my levels are at zero. So we'll move to the next one. So going up in size now, this is the 20. This is downstairs in our, I guess you could call it a den or whatever. This has little Toby, our koi that we rescued from our spawning of the rescue koi, plus 20 little mosquito fish that I'm growing out for the pond. There's also another really big mystery snail and a Japanese trapdoor snail, plus more other snails. This one, they just kind of, they're growing out. It's cold water, no heater, high current in it. Eventually the Hillstream loaches are going to be going in here too once I get rid of the mosquito fish, because they're just complete assholes and are really aggressive to anything about their size or slightly bigger. There's that big old mystery snail. I've also got some pond plants going out in here. They were left over, so I just decided I'd stick them in here and see if they can actually grow, and then I can move them out into some pots and put them outside. We got pennywort and bacopa. Plus it looks like a bunch of dying Java moss, which I'm trying to bring back. So then, just to the right of that, we have a 40-gallon breeder where I'm growing out a little baby peacock bass, which I'm assuming is a Tocantins Kelberry, but I honestly don't know. And he's separate from all the other ones because he was not eating pellets at the same time, so he was growing slower and they were being aggressive toward him. But now he eats on pellets like it's his job. There's also down in there my little Asian redtail. I'm not sure exactly which species, if it's a true Asian redtail or one of the smaller ones, but eventually he'll get his own tank because apparently they're like the most aggressive fish in the world. So, give you a quick little treat. Peacock bass. See if he'll actually eat on camera. There you go. So right next to that is the 75 Refugium for the 300, which is heavily planted and pretty much is just designed to suck up nitrates from the 300 because I can't have plants in there. We've got the very and always fat albino Senegal. His name's Dratini, by the way. Another big ass mystery snail. There's regular Senegal in the back, that's Gyarados. And there's an ornate back there. I don't know if you can see it, but he's back there. I also added a peacock eel to this 2 days ago, and he's either been eaten by the ornate or hiding under the gravel, and I don't know which because they hide for days at a time, and literally just completely under the gravel. So I'll just have to wait and see. So Gyarados always comes over to say hi. So he's actually officially our oldest fish since my channel cat died. And he is just over 3 years old. And Raja decided to say hi too. Alright, so we are headed out to the garage now, where I'm growing out my 5 other peacock bass and tiger shovelnose. This is 55. It's, like I said, in the garage. These guys are about 4 to 5 inches. Tiger shovelnose is maybe 6. And 4 of these are from the same... No, I'm sorry. One of them is from the same batch as the one in the 40 breeder. And the other 4 are completely different. And I still have no idea what they are. But my guess is kelberries of some kind. But now that they're spooked, they won't eat. So I can try anyway. Let's see. One of them ate. And the other ones are all scaredy cats. But as you can see, there is a horde of ram's horn snails, which I honestly don't care about because they help clean up the waste. Since the only filters I got on here are giant sponge filters. That middle one is rated for 125 gallons, so we're doing good on filtration. It gets weekly water changes, and these guys are growing about an inch a month regularly. So hopefully they'll start to get big enough soon that I can figure out what specific species they are, but it looks like we got another 2 inches for that. Alright, so we are back inside now in the living room. This is the 125 that I just had recently posted videos of. That's got the GAR. The lights don't turn on until about 2:30, and they stay on for about 8 hours. But I'll turn them on just for now. Oops. So we can see everybody. And this is pretty much the biggest grow out. This tank's way overstocked, but I've got the 125 sponge filter, 2 FX5s on it, actually FX6, and U3, and got, you can't see anything. Little Enly Bachir in there, green sunfish, bluegill. There's another Enly, longfin Oscars. These guys are so white that it messes with the white balance on the phone, the camera. There's our hybrid catfish. There's my favorite guy actually, 2 Gelsey Bachir. There's another big Enly back there, the GAR, Indonesian Datnoid. This tube actually houses a 15-inch tire track eel who rarely ever comes out. That's not really surprising. Back there, you can only see her tail, but there's our big ornate Dracana. Oh, there she is. Popping her head out, being shy. And then under here is the Conjugus. I think I named him Dacian. Kind of see his head right under there. We also got a little Palmas Poli, and you can see how big these fish are. They knock the intake off of the FX6, so I gotta put that back on. And there's the also rarely seen warmouth. So put this intake back on, and then we'll head outside. Okay, so we're doing a slight change of plans. I decided, since the lights were officially on now, that I would give you guys a treat and drop in some smelt to feed these guys. I can get the gar to come up and hit this. No, of course he's afraid. For such a big predator, this gar is the biggest coward I've ever seen. Yeah, he's just gonna go hide. But I can drop in some massive ore. See, he knows that sound. And that's what usually happens. Oysters come over and steal all the food. So that first piece decided to sink down into the middle of the Amazon sword. Let's see, I'll drop this one in there, see if I can maybe get the catfish to eat it. Nope, he didn't want any of it. Oh. Never mind, he did. I just missed it. Sorry. So I guess for all the live plant folks, what I got in here are some Brazilian swords. There's one there, there's one here, and that's actually one in the corner. And then I've got two really big Amazon swords. I got some narrow leaf Java fern, which is covered in blackbeard algae, and I've been having battles with that. This block has Java moss, also with some blackbeard algae, and then a ball of Java moss, guppy grass, and anacris. And then just recently added was a stem of water sprite that I was growing out in the refugium. There was more of it. It was probably up to here, and I don't know where it went. So, well, these guys are eating. Now we will not head outside, but actually go to the other 300. Alright, so we are back in the den, and here is the biggest tank we have, the 300 with our red tail Namatsu. It's also got an Indonesian Datnoid, 2 Oscars, and 2 Placos. So give me 1 second, I'll turn the lights on. Come under here. Here's our filtration once again. There we go. So you can see there's an Oscar up there, there's a Datnoid in the middle, and Namatsu. Our big red tail guy, who's super friendly, comes to the glass whenever I do this, eats like the pig he is, but we love him. And we got Placos, I think that one, I think that's the Pardalis, and there's a Gibiceps back there. Or could be the other way around. I can never remember. And they always change their coloring. And this big old tube is originally, it's a 6-inch wide, 2-foot long tube. It's originally for Namatsu to hide in. He is now 20 inches and about 5.5 inches wide. So every now and then he'll try and get into it, but he moves it around every night. Actually moves it around the tank, so he doesn't go in it much anymore. It's more of a hiding place for the Datnoid, who honestly is probably one of the creepiest fish we have, because he'll just kind of hide there in the shadows and stare at you and wait for food. Sorry about the dirty front. He's a creeper. And this is the Oscar that likes to be very aggressive toward my wife. Okay, now we will head outside to the ponds and the koi. So real quick before we head outside, this is the view from the den going outside. There's the small 300 pond, there's Kenna, and there's the big one, and I can show you the view from our little kitchen. So this is looking out the window into the big pond, which is actually really nice because we get to enjoy it without having to go outside and deal with mosquitoes or heat or sun. So let's head outside and brave the puppies. Break from fish, that's Kenna. That's Artemis. They are our Queensland healers. They're way too hyper for their own good. So this is a 300. This has, I want to say, 7 or 8 koi and 3 goldfish, and a big old pleco. And these are the ones that we've had the longest. Almost 2 years now, actually. And they are very well trained to come and eat from my hand. They only do it the first time, which is kind of weird, but it's still kind of cool. And my makeshift filter, since I'm sure some of you are wondering, I've got a 2100 gallon power pump going to a 5-gallon bucket filled with filter floss and a couple pads, and it does the job very well. I have to clean it out maybe once every 3 weeks, but it works. And the dogs knocked over the food, so now they get a treat. So now over to the big one, our 14-foot round pool turned into koi pond. This is the one I posted a couple videos of previously. This is also the one where we had a lot of fish die, unfortunately, because of the car wash detergent snafu. So this has goldfish, probably about 2 dozen goldfish, 10 koi. There's some, I don't know where they went. We've got some silver mollies. There's, I think, 2 minnows. There's 2 very fat plecos down there. You can see why with all this algae. There's 8 tinfoil barbs, which we recently got because my wife loves them, so we're growing them out in here so that Namatsu can't eat them. There's 4 albinos and 4 regular. There's a couple of them right there. And they actually school with the goldfish, which is kind of cool. I've also got a bunch of platies in here. Just basically stuff to eat mosquito larvae. There's some of the mollies, actually. And they seem to be doing a pretty good job. We don't have too bad of a mosquito problem, but we still get them a little bit, so that's why I'm growing out the mosquito fish inside. Running the 3200 pressure flow filter with a 2900 gallon per hour pump. It's probably about 3,000 gallons of water in here, so turnover rate of once an hour, and as you can see, it's pretty much crystal clear. Didn't have any issues until I idiotically and unknowingly added car wash detergent. So I'll drop in a little bit more food for them. These guys are still a little hesitant about us. They'll eventually get to the point as the other koi where they'll come up and eat from my hand, but right now they're still kind of shy. It takes at least a month, if not 2, for them to get used to humans in such a new place, especially something this open. And then maybe a couple more months after that for them to actually get used to us coming with food. What we do is we slap the water, and that'll get them to come up. So we're making headway. Eventually Namatsu is going to come out here. The hybrid catfish is going to come out here. The tiger shovelnose is going to come out here. And that will help keep goldfish population at bay. And we'll move the tinfoil barbs inside, move all the big bachirs into that other 300, and move the bigger Oscars, or all the Oscars in there, and then eventually the peacock bass will go in there as well. And that's probably not for another year, but we officially made the decision that we're not getting any more fish. We're gonna let all these grow out and go to where they need to be. So that's about all I got. That's all my fish. I have no idea totally how many there are, but if you want, you can go back through the video and try and count. Thanks for watching, and that's it.